It's okay. It really is. It's okay. I mean, sometimes we need to be in another world, you know.
Totally. That's why we do it.
Right. And I also love that not only is it something for escapism, but you also bring reality to the shows, like if somebody goes through breast cancer or, you know, gets bullied or things like that, you know. Or
if someone comes back as a ghost.
Right.
No, I'm making light of something that you were saying that was very important, and I do want to speak to that. It is such a great thing about our show that, you know, we handle very real and very current issues. For example, the gay storyline, they took a huge chance with that, and I'm so glad that they did. And we've handled a lot of different stories. I know Suzanne has gone through, her character went through, I'm not even going to try to say it, but a really serious illness, and Daniel has gone through something, and there's definitely like an element to that the audience really responds to, and it's just as nice for us because we get to be enlightened to these issues that are really important that maybe we wouldn't go through ourselves as individuals. So it's been great.
Yeah, and it helps a lot of the viewers, too, because a lot of times they feel alone or they learn something new, and thank you for doing that, you know, where I spoke with Eileen Davidson at one point when she was on another show and she had the breast cancer, and she said she still gets letters to this day, you know, fans thanking her for doing that storyline. So it's very really important.
It really is. I mean, especially breast cancer because that's become much more prevalent lately. But I think that it's one of the beautiful things, even if somebody else is going through it, you know, if somebody else's character is going through it, we all sort of pay attention. And it definitely, like, you know, I think part of the reason we all become actors is because we, at one point or another, turned our television on or went to a movie and we were transported into this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm not the only person in the world that's been through this. I'm not the only person that's felt this way. And it's just such an amazing cathartic experience, and it really enlightens you sometimes to, you know, change your life or have peace with something or guide you to a certain decision. And if we just make one person feel that they're not alone or feel like they have empowerment to go through something, then I think that, you know, we've definitely been doing our job. So I think that's definitely true for Eileen's storyline also.
Yeah, definitely. My mother unfortunately passed away from it 22 years ago, but, you know,
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, and that's why it's so close to me, you know, it's a cause to my heart. And just, my birthday was yesterday, so I'm actually 1 year older than she. Thank you. I'm actually 1 year older than she was when she passed away. So, you know.
That's a big one. My aunt actually just went through breast cancer for the first time of anyone in our family, and it really opened my eyes up to, you know, just like researching and going through stuff with our family, and it's different for every person. But I also went to the Susan G. Komen benefit this year, Design for a Cure, and I have to tell you, being in a room full of this, like, you know, unbelievable woman power and these survivors that spoke, it was just such an incredible, like, experience for me, and there's been, you know, I think that they're getting some great advancements in research, and they're achieving amazing things in the way that they're creating fun ways for young people to be more aware of this issue, and that's really, really important.
Exactly, because it can happen at any age, unfortunately. So everybody needs to be aware of it. And, of course, not just women. Men go through it, too. You just don't hear about it as often.
Totally, and that's another thing that's, like, really, you know, a surprise, unfortunately, to a lot of people. But I'm sorry to hear about your mom, but I'm glad that you remembered her today, and that's nice. It was your birthday, and we're all going to be aware of that, I think, as we get older, and it's becoming more of an issue. So,
thank you about that. I was wondering, too, what was the most memorable thing for you when you first walked onto the day set?
I mean, I think just walking onto it was like the most exciting thing for me. But when I first walked on, what was the most memorable thing? You know, that day happened in such a whirlwind. But there were a couple moments that I remember, and one was I was so nervous to work. I mean, Missy Reeves is just the quintessential mother to everyone. She's so sweet and so kind and so loving and just has a mother's heart. She was just built with it, and it's so special about her. You meet her within 2 seconds, you feel like you're home somewhere, you know, and it was great because I was really nervous to work with her, and I asked her to run lines with me, and I was really nervous to ask her, and she was like, oh, honey, of course, like, I love running lines anytime.
Yeah.
And not just, like, for some reason, it was just, like, the way that she handled it with such, she was so kind about it that it really made me feel at home, and it was really comforting and nice. And then we did, you know, we worked so quickly that I was kind of thrown into it, and I had my first scene was with, it was with my mom and Daniel, Sean Christian, and he walked in, and I had to run up to him and give him this big hug because he had just saved my mom's life. And I remember we did a rehearsal, and I ran up to Sean and gave him this big hug, and my line was something like, oh, so who's your doctor friend? And, oh, my God, this is the person who saved your life. And I ran up to him, and they stopped and said, okay, give us a second. And I was thinking, it was that awkward moment. I was like, oh, no, did I do something wrong? And sure enough, the producer came over to me and said, that was great, Kate. We're going to do it again, but this time, can you maybe not have as much chemistry with your mom's boyfriend? And I was like, oh, my gosh, sorry. And Sean just kind of, like, smiled and laughed, and we joke about it, like, still, you know, it was so long ago, but we always laugh about that because whenever we're on set, everybody's like, can you guys not have chemistry together, please? And then we're like, okay, sorry. But it's just a natural thing that he and I are really good friends, but we also, I think, innately are such similar people because we're just both, like, sort of these poetic old souls, I guess, and it really came through, like, the first time we met each other, I guess. So it's one of those things where we have to, like, work to not have chemistry, but that was, like, a funny, fun moment for me.
That is great. I love that story.
Yeah.
That sounds so memorable, and so I actually am curious, of all the people that you've already gotten to work with, is there anyone you haven't worked with on days that you would love the opportunity to work with?
Well, we have such a big cast. There's so many people that I've maybe had like a scene or two with, but would really like to work with more. I really think that Lauren Koslow is a fantastic actress who makes really great choices and has a lot of strength, so I'd love to work with her. And I think I had a lot of fun working with Ari recently. I don't know. I think I haven't really specifically. They do a great job at sort of mixing our storylines. But if I had to pick one person to work with, probably right now would say Lauren Koslow, just because I think her character is so feisty and so strong, and she makes. I feel like it's almost one of those things where I really feel like working with her, I would walk away and have pushed myself to a new limit. So.
Oh, awesome. I can actually tell her that for you if you'd like, because I will see her in Georgia, in Atlanta, in a week or so. I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited.
That's awesome. It's going to be so fun.
And that's actually where I met you, was here in Atlanta, not there at that event, but
that's great, with
at
Patrick.
A different event. Yes, with Patrick. That was an amazing event, and that was just by chance that I happened to watch Days. I have to admit that I had walked away from Days for a while, and not because I didn't like it, just because life got in the way, and I hadn't watched for like years. So when I met you, got to admit to you this, that I hadn't watched you yet on Days as Abby.
Okay,
and I was so excited. But no, you got to hear the rest of it. I was excited that I was getting to meet you first before I got to see you in action, and I was like, I was really looking forward to it. But
That's a really fun trip. We had a good time.
Yeah, and I was really excited.
Yeah, that was before our storyline. That was before it was Patrick and Drake and Susan and Bill, and Patrick and I hadn't even started working together yet. So we got back and we're like, oh, that's fun.
Oh, okay. Because I was kind of wondering that if you had started that or not. But yeah, that was the best. That was my first real, true Days fan event that I've ever been to, and I just had a blast. I just have to say, you all were fantastic and super sweet, down to earth, and I really enjoyed meeting Drake and Patrick because I had always seen them and Bill and Susan because I'd always watched them. I started watching in '90, and I didn't start watching because of my grandmother or my mom or my aunt. I just started watching because I was sick in bed, off from school for a whole week, sick in bed. I turned on the TV, and I got hooked. And I'm not ever going to leave.
Well, we're glad you got sick.
Yeah.
I'm glad I picked that one because it really is the most family-oriented one, and I always feel like I'm a part of every family and every intertwining storyline. I don't know. It's funny how that happens, but I really do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wanted to say a couple of years ago you went to the first annual American Humane Association Hero Dogs Awards. What exactly is that, and what was it about?
Yeah, I did. I'm really passionate about animals, and I have a lot of dogs. I've always grown up with animals, and actually my dog Layla May was on the cover of Life and Dog magazine. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. She's quite a celebrity herself. Yeah, you'll have to check it out. I think it's online somewhere. But my publicist knows that I've been really trying to become more and more involved as like an animal advocate and trying to just do what I can to raise awareness about certain issues, like the importance of how important it is to neuter your dog. Get your dog spayed, and how animal cruelty and all those things. And I was so happy to go to that event specifically because it was right in line with everything that I was kind of like looking forward to speak on, and something that I really care about. So I love, there's so many women I think that stand up for issues like that. Denise Richards was on the cover of Modern Dog magazine and had a great article about some similar issues. So for me, that's what I really, it's like so close to my heart. So it was fun.
Yeah, I have 2 Yorkies, and I've always grown up with animals in my house. I mean, from the day I was born, my dad bought me a dog, and it was just
right.
And then I got a cat
like
after that. And so yes, they're my babies. Oh my gosh, I just love my dog so much. And of course, it helps that my kids are more grown up now, so I have somebody to call my baby.
It's important.
Yeah. Well, they don't ask for much. All they ask for is some food, some water, and, some love. And that's it. And they make you so very happy to see them.
Yeah, isn't that a dream?
Mhm. Now, also, I saw that you tweeted out just this past week, I believe, that you won a Rockin' Hair Award.
Yes, I did. It's so cool. Star Magazine put on this Star Rocks Hollywood event, and I think it's Red Hot Chili Ray, or Hot Red Chili Ray. Now my dyslexia is totally coming out, but they performed, and the event was really fun. Star Magazine put it on, and I was walking on the carpet, and all of a sudden they started jumping up and down, and were so excited to give me this Rockin' This Sexy Hair, I think it was called, and got to be USA. They did this whole gift bag of all these hair products, and I don't know if you use Got to Be, but I have been loving their products the last week since that event. It was such a cool thing. I was like, oh, wow, thank you. And then I started using their dry shampoo and their whatever, and it's been so cool for me. So it was a really fun experience, and a lot